Hello everybody, I am the Black Sigma, or you could just call me Eric, and welcome to the High Prosecutor's office. With a suit that funnily enough seems like one that Miles Edgeworth will be wearing in future games, and a statue of the Steel Samurai. Interesting. High Prosecutor's office, room 1202. Red and blue chess pieces on the board that was directly below me. Interesting. This is the kind of room that just screams, I can do the job. Quite a change from your office, really. Thanks. Look, there's a trophy or something here. A trophy? What, that shield? Takes real nerve to display stuff like this. Whoever's office this is, they must be a real stuck-up jerk. Phoenix Wright. You never tire of prying into other people's business, do you? That voice. Long time no see, Edgeworth. Huh? Ah! Mr. Edgeworth! You know him from somewhere? Of course! I'm his biggest fan! My sister introduced us once and... Right, her sister is the chief prosecutor after all. Well, what brings you here? I'll warn you, I've been known to be a real stuck-up jerk. No, did I? No. It was just Mr. Right here, he... Hey, don't blame me. We're just here to investigate a murder case. Murder? A body was found in this nasty bright red sports car in the parking lot. That would be my car. What of it? What? Your car? I'll say one thing. She can certainly scream. Gotta love calling the guy who you are supposedly the biggest fan of a real stuck-up jerk and then calling his car nasty. Anyway, the body was found in your car? Go ahead, say it, right? You think I did it, don't you? After you went through all that trouble to help me last year, no less. No, we don't think you did it. I mean, it was my sister who stabbed him. Wait, no, she didn't do that. I mean... Wait, so you're the chief prosecutor's little sister then? Yes, sir, Emma Skye. It's nice to meet you again. Now that didn't sound forced at all. Ah, now I remember. You've really grown. I'll admit, it was a surprise for me too, to think that my own car would become the scene of a murder. More surprising still, I'm being forced to prove my superior's guilt. I can understand... Wait, what did you say? Lana Skye is the chief prosecutor, the top prosecutor in the district. She can't prosecute herself, so I'll be the prosecutor at the trial tomorrow. You? Mr. Edgeworth? To be honest, it's a bit of a miracle I'm still here at all. What do you mean? Rumors. You've heard the rumors about me, haven't you? Miles Edgeworth. It's hard to remember a time when there weren't rumors about this guy. Forging evidence, arranging false testimony, illegal searches, you name it. Thanks to you. Thanks to you, my innocence was established in the trial at the end of last year. However, there are some who say I'm the one responsible for the current incident. What? That's crazy. Some people need very little excuse to think ill of others. It's a fact of life, impossible to stop. But some of them even go so far as to I'm sorry, I may be a little tipsy. Some of them even go so far as to present me with toys like this. I was joking about the tipsy thing, by the way. They think this shield is funny. Toys? That bronze shield? There's gotta be a story behind that one. Chief Prosecutor Sky. Yes. We first worked together on a case 2 years ago. It was my first big case. That's right, I remember. 2 years ago. Wasn't even a lawyer yet. Since then, I always felt that she was looking out for me. It appears I was mistaken. Mistaken? Why? I mean, I know she's not the warmest person, but I'm sure she felt some responsibility for you. Then why? Why did she stab someone in the trunk of my car? Not only that, she stabbed him with my knife. What? Mr. Edgeworth, your knife was the murder weapon? To be specific, it was the knife I keep in the toolbox in the trunk of my car. Traces of the victim's blood, but no fingerprints. Edgeworth? What? Are you sure you didn't do it? Come on, can't he take a joke? You have a strange sense of humor, Mr. Wright. Yeah, probably shouldn't accuse my friend of murder, that I just got acquitted in a murder trial. Edgeworth, do you recognize, this at all? Oh, it's, X to present. I was wondering about this ID card. Mr. Wright! Huh? What? Are you sure you should be showing that to Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, he'll take it for sure, won't he? I wish I could be on the same side as Mr. Edgeworth, but then my sister would be found guilty. If she sighs any deeper, I'm gonna start getting depressed. Can you tell me any more about your knife? It's against my policy to discuss evidence with the defense. Right, because our justice system is messed up compared to real-life ones. Especially with you. Ouch. He doesn't like you much, does he, Mr. Wright? Nah, with Edgeworth it's never personal. It's all about winning tomorrow. Anyway, here's my badge. I once dreamed of being a defense attorney a long time ago. What? You wanted to be a defense attorney, Mr. Edgeworth? Yet my path is laid out clearly before me. I have no time to reflect on what might have been. Well, that's just sad, Miles. Guess I've no choice but to look elsewhere. Huh. Looking at this shield has gotten me some dialogue here. Has a big K on it. Of prosecutors. What's that? It's the King of Prosecutors trophy. King of Prosecutors? It's a great honor. They send that shield to the best prosecutor each year. What? So? That K. That's... K stands for king? Yeah, you got a problem with that? I didn't design the thing. King of Prosecutors. Kinda like Employee of the Month, only better. Ah, now it's in my court record. Let me examine this. There's a metal plate here. Looks like the names of all the previous recipients engraved on it. Well, one guy's listed a bunch of times. It's Von Karma. I guess he must be a foreigner. Yeah, that's probably it. Well, wherever he's from, he must have been an amazing prosecutor. Ugh. Emma. No, Emma, you really don't want to meet him. When she says it, his name does have kind of a ring to it. But, no, that's bad. Also, the, broken shield design is obviously, like, broken defense. Hence, King of Prosecutors would break through the logic of defense attorneys. Very, I don't know, just good trophy design, I guess. Well, there's nothing useful on Edgeworth's knife besides the blood. My, what an amazing bouquet! Just right for Mr. Edgeworth. No kidding. Hey, there's a card on it. Back from the dead, Wendy. Wendy? I've heard that name somewhere before. And beside it, a giant steel samurai. Wow, I want one. Huh? There's something written on the bottom of his foot. Between a rock and a hard place. Wendy. Wendy? Is she Mr. Edgeworth's fiancée? Nope. I don't think so. Hey, a chessboard. Not too up on my chess, but it looks like blue's in bit of a tight spot. The red knights have surrounded the blue pawn. Huh? Those horses are mounted knights. Their swords have really sharp edges. And check out that poor pawn. His head is kinda spiky. Kinda reminds me of you. Mr. Edgeworth must be an avid chess player. What's wrong, Mr. Wright? Edges surrounding a pawn with spiky hair? Nah, it's nothing. I suppose I didn't present the trophy to Edgeworth. So this says you were the best of the best last year, huh? You can take that foolish grin elsewhere, right? I lost a day of work to receive that travesty. Huh? Why's that? I had to go to the police department to receive that broken shield. The police department? Yes, right next to the police station downtown. You've been there, haven't you? Where Detective Gumshoe works? Yeah. I was wondering something about your shield. Why is it broken? What does it matter? I've got more important things to worry about. Oh, right. Doesn't seem too concerned about his award, for better or worse. Yesterday was a very busy day for the prosecutor's office. Maybe we should ask him more about yesterday? And new dialogue. Could you tell me more about yesterday? The day of the murder? Yesterday was the annual cleaning day at the prosecutor's office. Cleaning day? Working with the police department, we sort and file all evidence for solved cases. We call it evidence transferal. Wiping your hands of old cases, in other words. Oh, and another thing. A ceremony was held at the police department. There's an annual review and awards for outstanding police officers and prosecutors. That's when you got the shield? I was at the police department yesterday afternoon. I got back here at 5:12. That's very precise. People like myself and Mr. Edgeworth pride ourselves on our precision, Mr. Wright. No, I place little faith in my memory. The only thing I trust is solid evidence. Edgeworth's parking stub added to the court record. This is the parking stub from the underground lot. Murder took place around 5:15. So the murder happened right after you got back? What, right? I'd appreciate it if you'd direct that suspicious glare elsewhere. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm Edgeworth. What is it? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. Report? What? Did you find new evidence in the case against Chief Prosecutor Skye? I don't like the way this conversation is going at all. Skye, sir? No, sir. No name of that kind, sir. Not in this report, sir. I think I just heard Edgeworth's lid blow. Mr. Edgeworth's lid isn't on very tight, is it? I made a clear request to the police department, did I not? I need to focus on the trial tomorrow, so don't bring me anything unrelated. Sir, but sir! I'm just following orders, sir. They told me to bring this to you. I wasn't aware of the particulars of your arrangement with us, sir. Give me your name. Yes, sir. Meekins, sir. Officer Meekins. He's meek. Right. Officer Meekins, take your report and leave. And good luck with that raise next month. But sir, I didn't know. Poor guy. Looks like he was absent on the day they gave out brains and good luck. Right. Yes, sir? He caught me off guard. As you can see, I'm busy. You may leave now. Let's do what he says, Mr. Wright. The victim was a detective from the same department as that patrolman just now. Go down to the police department. You can ask more there. Thanks. He seems to have finally calmed down at least. To the police department. February 22nd, police department entrance. Whew, we're finally here. Why would they put the police department so far away from the prosecutor's office? Beats me. That took almost 30 minutes by taxi, and traffic wasn't even that bad. The police department, huh? I've only ever been to criminal affairs next door. Hold on. What's that? It's weird. It's creeping me out. Disturbing. Why does it undulate like that? Oh, wait, I know. This is the Blue Badger. They're trying to make him the police mascot. Well, Mr. Wright, you sure know a lot about the police. Still, he does seem familiar somehow. Forget the blue badger. Who's that next to him? Someone appears to be dancing with the blue badger? Uh-oh, he noticed me. He sure is running over here fast.
Hey, pal! What are you doing here?
That's my line, Detective Gumshoe. Specifically, why were you dancing over there?
What? Well...
Well, at least he doesn't seem to be busy. This is our chance to get information.
Hey, I'll have you know I'm a very busy man, pal.
Sure you are.
I'll give you one word of advice, pal. You'd better not agree to defend the suspect in this case.
Why not?
Huh? Well, it's just that the chief prosecutor has confessed to the crime. She says she summoned the detective to the prosecutor's office and she killed him.
But what if she's not telling the truth?
Yes, well, no. Come on, pal. There's plenty of evidence against her.
Sure. Yep, the card we found is the victim's ID.
Of course.
But what if the evidence was faked?
Hey, pal. Can I speak to you for a second?
Huh? Me?
Why is this little girl so peeved at me?
She's a relative of the suspect. She's Lana Sky's sister.
Whoa, the chief prosecutor's little sister?
Just please investigate this case carefully, okay? Scientifically.
Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, you might want to keep your voices down. You could peak your microphone if you yell too loud. And you don't want to be overheard using words like faked.
Huh?
It's a sensitive issue with us these days.
Ah. Because of the Von Karma name. So, what are you doing here, Detective Gumshoe?
Me? Oh, well, nothing really. They kicked me out of criminal affairs.
Detective? What did you do this time?
What do you mean this time?
Then, what happened? I know things are busy right now. I mean, with my sister's case and all.
It's true. We've never had a chief prosecutor murder anyone before. Only the highest ranked people are being let into criminal affairs now. The lowest ranking guy in there is our chief of detectives. They're not letting any of us rank and file detectives in at all.
None of you? I know this is an important trial, but isn't that a little odd?
So anyway, I thought I'd spend the day getting the badger dance down pat.
Isn't there anything else you could be doing?
The chief of police himself is directing this investigation, pal. And Officer Marshall was assigned to the underground parking lot.
Officer Marshall. Now that I think about it, Emma did seem to know that Marshall guy.
A patrolman in charge of the crime scene. A patrolman in charge of a crime scene. It's unheard of, pal.
So... I presume there's more dialogue here by showing you some evidence. But what evidence?
Hey, that's it. That's the King of Prosecutors award that Mr. Edgeworth got yesterday.
Were you at the awards ceremony, Detective Gumshoe?
Course, pal. I got an award for diligence myself.
Ah, congratulations. I was wondering, why is the award a shield, and why is it broken?
Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later.
Apparently he's forgotten.
But I was proud of Mr. Edgeworth for winning that award, even with all the naysayers in the prosecutor's office.
Naysayers? Must be because of the rumors.
That was weird. Why'd it pop up with the parking stub first? Found in Mr. Edgeworth's car. Stabbed with Mr. Edgeworth's knife, huh? What would drive Chief Prosecutor Sky to do such a thing? Wait, I didn't mean... Sure, of course, someone else really did it. Someone who must have, Someone who must have a grudge against Mr. Edgeworth. The car and the knife do seem a little too well organized to be a coincidence. Poor Mr. Edgeworth, what could have happened? We have to find out a little more about what's going on with Edgeworth. Well, I trust Detective Gumshoe not to take the ID off me. What can you tell me about this? Huh? Hey pal, this is a detective's ID card. You can't just keep that, you have to turn it in to the police. It's people like you that get me into so much trouble all the time. Meaning Detective Gumshoe must drop his card a lot. Huh? Let's see. Bruce Goodman? Goodman? Sounds familiar. Nah, my mistake. But didn't you work together with him in criminal affairs? Whoa, now I remember. Bruce Goodman. He's the victim. That's what I thought. Can you tell us more, Detective Gumshoe? I bet he can. Oh. Apparently I had multiple dialogue options unlocked that I did not know. So, this ID card belonged to the victim? He was a detective like myself. Detective Bruce Goodman. Don't you think it's strange? I mean, why would the victim's ID card be lying on the ground where we found it? Well, Detective Goodman should have been at the police department yesterday. There was an evidence transferal for a case he handled 2 years ago. Evidence transferal? Mr. Edgeworth mentioned that too. But Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Well, that's the thing. It's hard to say this, but word is that Chief Prosecutor Sky called him out there to the parking lot. And she's confessing as much. He's in a tough spot. Again. Again? Again. Well, it all started with the murder of that defense attorney, Hammond. But Mr. Edgeworth was found innocent. Listen, pal, there have always been rumors about Mr. Edgeworth. Forging evidence, making deals with witnesses. Nothing outright, but there were always whispered rumors. Ever since he was accused of murder, no one's whispering, they're practically shouting. But there's no evidence against him. Well, Mr. Edgeworth has always had unusually strong ties to the department higher-ups. It's only natural that people would be suspicious. Had no idea he was under the gun. Anyway, this latest case has started a new rumor. People say the only reason he took this case is because he's aiming for the chief prosecutor position himself. What? But I know the truth, pal. Nobody wants to be the one who has to prosecute the prosecutor. Who watches the watchman anyway? Mr. Edgeworth is biting the bullet on this one. He's doing it for all of us. Huh. Interesting. But, judging from the length of this episode so far, I'm gonna have to call it quits before I press further on Edgeworth's situation. So I'll see all of you in the next one. Bye.